Think it's too late to start prepping? Well, guess what? You're wrong. It's a common myth that prepping is an overwhelming task that demands an exorbitant amount of time. But I'm here to tell you that this is far from the truth. In fact, you can start building your emergency plan from scratch and be fully prepared in just 30 days. Yes, you heard it right, 30 days. We're going to embark on a journey together, where we'll debunk the misconceptions about prepping being too hard or too late to start. I'll guide you through a foolproof day-by-day plan that will ready you for any emergency. From assessing your current situation to conducting drills, we'll cover it all. So, it's time to put aside those excuses. It's time to take control. It's time to empower yourself with the skills and knowledge to face any disaster head-on. Stop making excuses and prepare to get ready. We kick off our 30-day plan with an assessment of your current situation. This is the cornerstone of your journey towards readiness. Without a clear understanding of where you stand, any emergency plan will be built on shaky ground. First things first, let's identify potential risks. This isn't a one-size-fits-all task. You need to consider your geographic area and its unique challenges. Do you live in a hurricane-prone region? Is your community susceptible to wildfires? Or perhaps you're in an urban area that could face civil unrest. Each of these scenarios requires different survival strategies, so it's crucial to understand what you're preparing for. Next, evaluate your family's needs. This includes everyone, from the youngest to the oldest and even your furry friends. Consider dietary needs, medical conditions, and physical capabilities. If you've got a toddler or an elderly family member, your plan will look different than someone prepping for just themselves. Now it's time to establish clear survival goals. Are you preparing to be self-sufficient for a week, a month, or longer? Your goals will guide the scale and scope of your preparations. With these considerations in mind, you'll draft a basic emergency response plan. This isn't as daunting as it sounds. Start with an evacuation plan. Identify safe routes out of your home and community. Consider where you'll go and how you'll get there. Next, outline your communication plan. If your family gets separated, how will you get in touch? Consider a central contact who lives out of the area that everyone can reach out to. Finally, list your emergency contacts. This should include local emergency services, medical facilities, and any other numbers that could be important in a crisis. With a clear plan in place, you're already taking steps towards preparedness. Remember, this is a living document. As situations change, your plan should adapt. But for now, take a moment to celebrate your progress. You're on your way to becoming better prepared, and that's something to be proud of. Next, we're going to ensure you have the sustenance needed when disaster strikes. Now, we all know the importance of food and water for survival, but in an emergency situation, it's not as simple as opening the fridge or turning on the tap. First, let's talk about water. The golden rule here is to store at least a 3-day supply of water per person. The general recommendation is 1 gallon per person per day, which should cover both drinking and sanitation needs. It's a good idea to invest in water purification tablets or portable filters. These can be lifesavers if your stored water runs out, or if you need to source water from the environment. Now, on to food. The goal is to build up a 1-month supply of non-perishable items. What does this mean? Think canned goods, dehydrated foods, and meals ready to eat, or MREs. These items have long shelf lives, require minimal preparation, and provide necessary nutrients. You'll also want to consider dietary needs and preferences. Allergies, dietary restrictions, and plain old personal taste are all factors to consider when stocking your pantry. But remember, it's not just about what you store. It's also about how you store it. Both food and water should be kept in a cool, dark place to prolong their shelf life. Make sure your storage containers are airtight to prevent contamination. It's also a good practice to rotate your supplies. Use and replace items before they expire to maintain a fresh stock. Finally, don't forget about utensils and can openers. It's easy to overlook these essentials, but they're absolutely necessary for accessing and consuming your food supply. In the face of an emergency, having a secure food and water supply can be the difference between life and death. It's not just about filling your belly, it's about maintaining your strength and morale when times get tough. With a solid food and water supply, you're ready to withstand the first few days of an emergency. So let's get you stocked up and ready for whatever comes your way. Health emergencies don't stop during disasters. It's an unsettling reality, but it's one we can prepare for. Imagine this: a severe storm hits and you're stuck at home for days. One of your family members gets injured or worse, falls seriously ill. Without access to immediate medical help, what do? That's where your preparedness comes into play. Let's dive into the essentials of a comprehensive first aid kit. It should include bandages, antiseptics, tweezers, medical tape, a digital thermometer, a first aid manual, and more. But your kit isn't just about the physical items, it's about the knowledge you equip yourself with. Learning basic first aid skills can be a literal lifesaver. Whether it's knowing how to clean and dress a wound, perform CPR, or set a splint, these skills empower you to respond effectively in the face of medical emergencies. There are plenty of resources out there, from online courses to local community classes, that can help you gain these skills. Next, managing medical supplies. If anyone in your household relies on prescription medication or specific medical equipment, it's crucial to have an emergency supply on hand. Talk to your healthcare provider about getting an extra supply of necessary medications. For medical equipment, ensure you have backup power options available, especially if the equipment requires electricity. And let's not forget the importance of personal hygiene during emergencies. In situations where water and resources are scarce, maintaining cleanliness can prevent infections and disease spread. Stock up on items like hand sanitizers, wet wipes, and biodegradable soaps. So you've got your first aid kit, you've learned some life-saving skills, and you're equipped to manage medical supplies. You're ready to face health emergencies that could arise during a disaster. But remember, preparation is ongoing. Regularly check your first aid kit for expired items, refresh your skills, and update your medical supplies as necessary. With your health and first aid preparedness, you're ready to tackle medical emergencies head-on. Your survival isn't just about weathering the storm, it's about ensuring you and your loved ones remain healthy throughout it. Prepare for potential outages and disruptions in utilities. Here, we're talking about one of the most vital aspects of survival: power. In our modern world, we're heavily reliant on electricity and utility services. But what happens when they're suddenly not available? Let's dive in. Let's start with backup power options. While the grid might be down, that doesn't mean you have to be in the dark. Generators can be a lifesaver in a blackout. They come in various sizes and power capacities and can keep essential appliances running. Keep in mind that generators need fuel, so consider your fuel storage options. Solar power is another great alternative. Solar panels might seem like a significant investment, but they pay off in the long run by providing free, renewable energy. They're silent, need little maintenance, and can power your home indefinitely in sunny weather. Now, on to fuel storage. It's crucial to have a supply of fuel for your generator, your vehicle, and potentially for heating. Store fuel in approved containers in a well-ventilated, cool, and dry area. Remember, safety first. Always handle and store fuel with care to avoid accidents. But what if you can't use electricity at all? Well, you'll need alternatives for heating and cooking. When it comes to heating, a wood-burning stove or fireplace can keep you warm and even boil water. For cooking, a camping stove can be a great solution. It's portable, easy to use, and runs on small gas canisters. Having power and utilities during a crisis can make a big difference in your comfort and survival. But remember, it's about more than just having the right equipment. It's about understanding how to use it safely and efficiently. So, let's recap. Backup power? Check. Fuel storage? Check. Alternatives for heating and cooking? Check. You're well on your way to being prepared for any power or utility disruption. Armed with knowledge and backup solutions, you're ready to face power and utility disruptions. And remember, being prepared isn't about living in fear. It's about living with peace of mind. On to the next step. Focus on securing your home and protecting your family. This is where we delve deep into the realm of security and protection. It's not just about locking your doors and windows, it's about ensuring you're fortified against any eventuality. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about physical security. Reinforcing entry points to your home can be a game changer in times of crisis. Consider upgrading doors and windows to more robust, resilient models. And don't forget about your garage and basement. These are often overlooked as potential points of entry. Next, let's not underestimate the power of basic self-defense techniques. You don't need to be a martial arts expert to protect yourself and your loved ones. It's about knowing simple, effective moves that can buy you time or get you out of a tight spot. Consider signing up for a basic self-defense course. There are many available online. But remember, the goal is not to become a combatant, but to create enough of a deterrent or delay for help to arrive or to make an escape. It's about survival, not victory. Now let's switch gears and talk about digital security. In an increasingly connected world, cyber threats are real and can be just as damaging as physical ones. Start with the basics. use strong, unique passwords for all your accounts, and consider using a password manager to keep track of them. Be wary of emails and messages asking for personal or financial information. These could be phishing attempts. Always double-check the source and never click on suspicious links. Finally, secure your home network. Change the default login credentials for your router, and consider setting up a guest network for visitors to keep your main network secure. With your security measures in place, you're ready to protect your home and loved ones. Remember, preparedness isn't about living in fear. It's about reducing fear by being ready for anything. So stay vigilant and keep refining your security strategies as you go along. In the final stretch, review all plans and supplies. It's time to put theory into practice. Conducting drills is a crucial step in your preparation. By simulating different emergency scenarios, you'll get a realistic feel for how well you and your family can respond. It's one thing to have a plan on paper, but the real test comes when you have to act. During drills, pay close attention to each family member's reactions. Are they quick to respond, and do they know their roles? Use this as a learning experience and make adjustments as necessary. After each drill, gather everyone and discuss what went well and where improvements can be made. This feedback is essential for refining your emergency plans. Remember, no plan is perfect, and continuous improvement is key. With drills and reviews done, you're ready to face any emergency scenario confidently. You've built your emergency plan from scratch, and now you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Congratulations on completing your 30-day emergency preparedness challenge. You've taken a significant step toward ensuring the safety and survival of you and your loved ones. But remember, preparedness isn't a one-and-done deal. Keep reviewing and updating your plans and supplies regularly. Adapt to new information and evolving circumstances. You've got the power to face any disaster head-on. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, the best time to prepare was yesterday. The next best time is now. If you found this guide helpful, please subscribe, and share it with friends and family who can benefit from being prepared. Your engagement helps us reach more people and empowers them with the knowledge to build their own emergency plans. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe for more practical tips, and share this video far and wide. And let's spark a conversation. Drop a comment below with any questions or additional tips you have on emergency preparedness. Stay safe.